Have you ever heard the term get your ducks in a row? We are talking about getting our ducks in a row today, what we need to do. You do not want to miss this broadcast. It's the perfect way to start 2021. Stay right there.
Welcome to Coffee with the Queens, empowering you to grow and protect your cash credit castle and kingdom. Have you ever heard the phrase, get your ducks in a row, and you feel like you haven't done that? We share learned lessons and practical advice to help guide you to a life of financial freedom. Empowerment is key, so grab your coffee and crown and let's get to it. Take it away, Queen Tammy.
So today I have a question for you because, we're all setting our resolutions, our goals, and we had a wonderful show on goal setting last week. So if anyone had missed that, there is really great information in there. I used that to set my goals this year. Some thoughts were swimming around in my head this week. My mother used to say that I was really representing my birth state well. So I was born in Missouri. Does anyone know what state that is?
Show me state.
The show me state. That's right. So she would tell me something or how to do a thing. And for some reason, I just had to find it out for myself, be it right or wrong. Had to go through the steps myself until I really could understand it. I had to go through it myself. So, I think I've evolved over time and now I, listen to advice, but I just really wondered about that question for you girls. Do you take advice well? Do you have coaches? Do you listen? Do you have to do everything the hard way? Where are you in this?
I think growing up, I had a tendency to take advice from too many places. I let too many cooks get in the kitchen in my head, if you know what I mean. So if somebody said, oh, well, stop doing that, do this, and then I wouldn't even I didn't value my own thoughts or didn't vet anybody. So I think, I got into a little bit of trouble with that. But I think through that, I learned to vet and to be a little discerning as to where I listened to my advice from. And even when I first started hiring coaches, I didn't choose well. So I think experience comes, and I like the fact that you had to have your own, you had to see it for yourself, or show yourself how things went, because I also had to do that, but I did it kind of like a pinball, bouncing off of all the wrong things until I found where I was supposed to be. And now I do value advice of people, mentors and coaches, and I always have at least one or two of them in my life, but I'm very careful about who I'm taking that advice from.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. I remember always asking my mom about this or that. She goes, well, why are you asking me? You're going to do your own thing anyways. And it's true. It's so true. I'm just so hard-headed with things. But but now, to me, my mom is so smart, and she knows, she's been there, she's done it. But why I don't take her advice, I don't know. I still do the things that I need to do and want to do.
Well, I must be the only queen who actually listened to my mother's advice. because I was a really young bride. I got married at age 17, 2 weeks after high school, married my high school sweetheart, who happened to be an awesome athlete and had this football scholarship to college. And this was like in the 60s when girls didn't go to school. But my mother took me aside and said to me, you need to go to school. And that's because my mother at age 14 had to quit high school because she grew up in the Depression. She had to take care of her sisters and her brothers. And she became a widow when I was 9 years old. And she raised me as a single mother. She understood the value of education. And because of her, took the test, passed the SATs. 2 months later, enrolled in college. 4 years later, graduated as the first person in my family ever to graduate from high school. So the best advice I heard and I took, I guess I'm unusual, I listened to my mother.
That's very good. I've learned over time to take advice as well. And I know that the more I absorb from many different mentors, then I can still kind of do it my own way. A mixture of the big takeaways, from what I'm learning, and following success, right? Emulating success, I think is really key.
I think too that now, this might be really great. First of all, we want to remind people to follow us. Please subscribe, like, if this is good for you. Please share what we're talking about here today. And we love that you're here live with us, because the people that engage are going to end up, always getting treated here. So we love that. And so subscribe to us on the Digital Duchess YouTube channel, follow us on our Facebook page, and we want to hear from you. So if there's a topic that you would like to have us cover, somehow get that to us, put it in the comments and any of those social media locations. That'd be great. And since we're talking about advice, it's almost like at this point, we may not have been great about taking advice when we were younger, but I feel that after everything that we've been through, since we are wearing the tiaras, maybe we could share some of the mistakes and some of the lessons that we've learned. Help people get into 2021 in a way that they might be able to avoid some pitfalls. What do you guys think?
Well,
We
yeah.
learn through our mistakes, don't we? I think that's a great way to help others avoid them.
Exactly. Where do we start? Oh my God, there's so many.
What mistakes can we talk about?
Wow.
Well, I'll go first. I think since we do focus a lot on money here, and I think that mindset and empowerment is like, as we say, empowerment underlies every single pillar that we talk about here on the show, whether it's cash, credit, castle, or kingdom. The ability to believe that you can do it is something that is going to carry you through and help you overcome any obstacle. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made was I gave the responsibility for my money to other people. So for some people, it could be a spouse. For some, it could be their parents. For me, I fell into making a lot of money when I was just out of high school. Kathy, a very different path. And I didn't know anything about money. So my manager took care of that for me. And in the beginning, I actually was okay, because it was a trusted person that recommended me to another trusted person. And that money manager did really well by me. At some point, I split with that manager and went with someone else and did the same thing, because it worked the first time, right? So I trusted, and I lost a ton. And you hear this about artists where their money is taken from them. And I lost a lot of money that way, because I trusted, and I did not think that I was able to handle any of that myself. I thought, well, I'm stupid about this. I won't make good decisions. And that's the most disempowering thing that you can think of. There's something you don't know about money. I mean, we're proof. That's why we're here doing this. You learn it. It's not rocket science. And so I think instead of the phrase, I don't understand, I will never be able to do that, to simply say to yourself, you know what, I am able to do this, and I am aware of where my money is. So even if you do hire a money manager, I'm not saying money managers are bad. I think they're amazing. But back to vetting the people that you take your advice for, and know where it's going. So make sure you're having regular meetings with someone else if they're handling your money for you, and say, where is my money going? What am I investing in? What is, explain this to me. And the more you ask and you're on top of it, the better you're going to feel, the more empowered you're going to feel, even if somebody else is handling some of those things for you.
Asking good questions. That's
But I learned, oh my goodness. So I learned in 12th grade. I remember my mom taking me to TJ Maxx. I'm pretty sure it was my favorite store it was Contempo Casuals, or Casual Contempo. Oh my gosh. So I remember she says, pick out anything you want. It's your birthday. I said, oh my God, this is great. So I found these beautiful baby blue, thin corduroy pants. Oh God, they were so beautiful.
so
And
hot.
and a beautiful white long sleeve shirt with ruffles and a little black bow. I was so excited to wear this to school, and I did. Then about a week and a half later, we go back to the store. They were half price. It's like, oh, heck no. I was so livid. It's like, wow. Can you imagine? So my advice to people is, don't ever buy anything. Well, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later.
Right. So I think the lesson that I learned was when my father-in-law died. And I always thought I was financially literate. I mean, we came out of college, we founded companies, we raised money. And then my father-in-law died, and he was a CFO. He had a trust, and all of a sudden we ended up in probate. And I remember looking at my husband saying, how did that happen? And I learned the value of understanding how property is titled. And I learned that a will does not avoid probate. And when I hear Mr. Ramsey say on his program, make a will, I live in California and my body is screaming, please, please do not make a will. A will does not avoid probate. A will ensure that your property is subject to probate. And trust me, in California, we are the most onerous probate state there is. You want to stay out of probate. So that's one of the things that I'm really excited about what we're getting ready to do this year. And part of our getting your ducks in a row is we're going to help you stay out of probate.
Very good. Love it. I would say, what is your biggest asset? And some people say it's their credit score. And as a full-time loan officer, that's what I do every day. I talk to people every day. And just yesterday, I was talking to someone and he has an 840 score. And he said, and I'm so proud of it and I'm so protective of it. And it's such a big thing. And I wish I would have known this when I was in my, early in my life. I had a partner and I was trying to help him. I had a great credit score because they just give you all these cards, which is another thing we should help people understand, because you don't even understand why you have all these cards and what they mean, all this credit given to you as a young person. And my first partner, I was just trying to help him out. And so I gave him an authorized user, right? Well, there's ways to do that to protect yourself, and there's ways that you shouldn't do it. And unfortunately, I did it the wrong way. So I ended up, my credit score tanked. I would say your credit score is one of your biggest assets. Just really become knowledgeable about that and really protect it consistently over your lifetime. So that's my big takeaway.
I'm glad you bring that up, because many people are married, and what they do is they take their credit cards and they add a partner on their cards, right? So I'm looking forward to, when we have our discussion, our show about credit cards, because what happens if they default on a payment? Are you liable, right? There's so many questions to ask in that show.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing, back to what I will just call it, why I'm so excited about Ducks in a Row. It's like I always say to certain people, one of the reasons, not only does a will not avoid probate, if you have children from a first marriage, you run the high risk that you have just disinherited your children from a first marriage, which most people, again, don't quite understand the rules. And I think it's really interesting that the world hasn't changed in 50 years. We still don't teach anybody in school what they really need to know as a life skill to be in charge of their life. And so I think that's what really our program is all about. And when we say ducks in a row, we're saying you need these pillars to be there. You need to have your cash in order. You need to have your credit in order. You need to have, hopefully you own a home. Hopefully you've protected that home. And that's what Ducks in a Row is all about.
Yeah. Since we Kathy's kind of mentioned it, I guess we should let people in on what's happening. So, you may have realized that we all kind of chat, we get along, we're friends as well. And so we decided collectively to look at 2021 and put all of our ducks in a row. I know that's an old phrase, but we've just sort of like fallen in love with the idea of ducks in a row, because the ducks of cash, credit, castle, and kingdom empowered every single one of them by good thought process wrapped around each one, so that each step to get yourself to the next level in this is going to be manageable. So we're doing this together as a group, and we thought, it'd be kind of cool to actually bring a few of you along with us on the journey. So that is literally what we decided to call our adventure. It is Get Your Ducks in a Row. It's a series and it's a course as well. So we're going through it. We want you to come along with us.
Yes. And with our Ducks in a Row series, it's all about empowering one another. It's all about getting our cash intact. It's about getting our credits scores as high as possible. It's about keeping our kingdom and our castle once and for all to ourselves, right? And we're going to have a great amazing Facebook group, and just for y'all, like Sandra D, y'all.
But I think more than anything, moving from the chaos and disappointment and frustration of our last year, that I think there's a lot of people that feel the way we do when we sat and we talked about this, going, let's really do something. Let's hold each other up and get into this new year and protect. I think aside from, putting sanitizer on our hands every 20 minutes, I think there are ways that we are now really focused on protecting ourselves and what we have and our health and all of that as well. But this is one way that we can really protect ourselves against a lot of things that bring people down. And that is the financial aspect of it. Maybe you took a hit in the last year. Most people did take some sort of significant hit or had to pivot. We hate that word. That was a 2020 word. So many different changes that have happened that I think to be able to build a solid foundation or rebuild your foundation is a great place to be right now, especially you have the support of us to do that with.
2020, I'm glad you touched on that, because there were people that they were in the middle of refinancing and then they lost their job, and which affects your credit, which affects your cash flow, which affects your castle, which affects your kid. I mean, they all play together, and it can happen quickly. And so the things that we're going to go through are things that can help you step by step make sure that not only are you leveling up and you're making sure that credit score is obscenely amazing, and there's steps to do that, and protecting that. But then also, what about cash? What if you lose your job? Do you have a passive income stream? We're all about multiple income streams here. I recently had a surgery, and I was so happy that for 2 weeks I could actually take off. I had another income stream, to support my family. So these are things that are just so, so important. Or if something happens to one of us, we lost a lot of people in 2020. I wonder how many people really had their ducks in a row. And how many people are now in probate or figuring out, what the heck do I do now without that other income source? My partner's gone and my whole world changed. So that's such a big deal, and why we're so passionate here to help you. So not only is it going to be a Facebook community, and then step-by-step guidance and in a place where we can openly share these things, because I don't think there really is that place that we feel comfortable talking about things like this, because they're either embarrassing or so. We just want to help people along with us in this journey. We have guidebooks, we have action steps, and we have courses. Some of the courses that we have been courses that we've sold for a lot in the past on how to make money online, or create a passive income stream, or empowerment, or goal setting, or these are all things that you're going to get as part of our little group if you want to join our little group. And for this month only, we're going to just open this up for $27. It's going to be a monthly thing.
Not only the Facebook group, but you're getting the courses as well that are on every one of these topics that are worth thousands of dollars that each of us have actually built up. And we're putting that into your kitty for you. And it is a monthly support from us. So, that's part of what Tammy was saying. It's not always comfortable to talk about these things. And I know we had a comment from Carla who said, hey, I want to learn more about staying out of probate. And so that is something that, everybody would like to know those things, but you don't exactly go to a coffee house and sit down with some new friends and go, so let's talk about probate. Let's talk about costs. It's not something that actually comes up, and life insurance isn't something that comes up unless you're forced to, right? So this is a great opportunity, as you know, just from watching our show, that we bring up these topics that may not come up in everyday conversation, but really are empowering and help you get your ducks in a row. And also, Tammy was mentioning that since we are just starting this off, and we would like to take you along with us, as a founding member, actually is one of the first people to sign up, we have the early bird special for only $27 a month. Then it's going to jump pretty quickly to $47 a month. So, which is still an amazing opportunity and a great deal to have the support of all of us and all of the courses and everything else. So it is pretty amazing. But
the other thing, that came into our decision to do this was we all make New Year's resolutions that say, oh, we're going to get our ducks in a row. But then we tend to find it something that it's not that easy to actually keep those New Year's resolutions actually happening. So we thought, wouldn't it be great to also use this as a way to help people actually accomplish their New Year's resolutions? So that was the other reason that we thought actually making this be something that We're going to help you month by month.
If they do want to do this, what's the best way, Tammy? We're going to be having them text ducks. Is that it? Ducks with an S?
Yes,
Plural?
that's it. So let me put that up on the screen. There's just a number and you text ducks. We're in the middle of putting this all together in a beautiful little platform for you. So if you text this number now, then you'll be able to get in and get registered. So your spot is safe, introductory
So
offer here.
you're going to lock in that founding member price.
Yeah,
Which will not go up.
that's correct. Yes. There you go.
There you go.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Ducks.
Ducks.
Yes, we have to get our ducks in a row this year. This is what it's about. And we want you guys to come along with our journey and make this happen for all of us. We all want success, and it starts now. It starts today. And we want to get back to what I learned about buying something full price.
Back to the corduroys.
The blue corduroys.
What I learned was do not pay anything full price. Wait for it to go on sale.
There we go.
Or coupons, right? Didn't somebody here have a site that you recommended? This is not an official endorsement, but somebody did mention, was it called Honey?
It was called
Honey. Yes, Honey.
Great one.
We'll show you the best coupons out there. I use it all over. So I actually bought a new domain, the SSL for 5 years, and it was normally about $29 from Namecheap. And I used the Honey coupon. It turned out to be $23 for 5 years. Wow.
See, little things like that. And, my husband has taught me that if there's an item that we want, we were looking for lighting for the house, and I found some I liked. And of course I went for the most expensive thing on the page, and he's like, rolled his eyes, goes, of course, that's what you would choose. So he took the name of the item and he put it in Google and found it at other stores for way less. The same thing, that a couple of minutes out of your day to just go and search a little something else, and you can get, it's not saying that you can't have nice things, but there's ways that you can do it that make you feel like you have a little win whenever you get them. So,
and you could also use that Honey app for even websites anywhere. It will bring it up, and so all you do is click on it, and it's free.
So Tammy, maybe you could talk about the programs that you're thinking about to help people grow their cash business, their side hustle.
Yes. So in our course, when you join with this $27 a month, which is our introductory price, only until the end of the month to join our little community, what's going to happen is you'll have access to the Facebook group. We're going to have sort of like themes. Okay. We like starting with things like credit, because that's a big deal in the beginning of the year, and make sure that you're leveling up and you know how to manage that. So we have eight videos around credit, how to check it, how to understand what it is, how to increase it, tricks and tips, why it doesn't go up, understanding all of these things that people constantly ask and are, let's face it, frustrated by. Credit is so frustrating. And the next thing is, in our cash section, we are going to be going through some courses that have been very, very popular and successful for people. I also have a background in e-commerce, and I truly feel today that one of the best ways to create that passive income stream, one of your multiple income streams we should all have, is by being an affiliate. And I play in the Amazon playground quite a bit, so Amazon affiliate. So we have a whole course how to become an Amazon affiliate, several videos in there to get you step by step, and you can use this in every day. It doesn't have to be a whole different business. It just becomes another income stream for you, which is really exciting.
Now, first of all, why don't you tell everybody how much you generated on Amazon?
So, in my life, I became a mortgage broker back in 2001. Okay. And before that, I was in e-commerce. So I've been doing this stuff for a while. And when the economic downturn happened, I really focused on e-commerce. So I became a consultant. I started my own brand and just really focused. Like Eric Latham told us the other day, focus creates mastery. So when I really focused on e-commerce over the last, handful of years, I was able to generate multiple 8 figures, over $50 million in sales online. And then I started teaching it and started coaching people how to do that in the same way. And today it's just a major part of how my family, excels. So if my husband loses his job tomorrow, or I lose my day-to-day gig, there's not a problem, because we have a multiple income stream, another passive income stream. I wouldn't say everything's passive, but it's wonderful to have that in your back pocket. And I can't tell you, it's been a proponent for me to start this channel and grow this channel and be here with you and teach people, because one thing in life is sure, it's change. And we've all gone through transition many different ways, whether it be divorce or having to be like a sudden caretaker, or just things happen and it affects everything. And what can you do? How can you protect yourself? And I think passive income stream is one of those. So we have that whole course for you. And we're building a new one too, which I think is another great way to make money online. So we have our whole POD, print on demand course coming up. That's going to be in there. So all these courses, if you join as a member now, you will have lifetime access at that monthly fee, which is such an incredible value. And I could go on and on, but I think that gives you enough of an idea about just the value that we're going to be sharing. And then to be able to go into a Facebook group and ask questions and say, I did this, it didn't work. What am I doing wrong? Or why isn't this happening? Or
because of the interaction that you have with us, that if say the theme is credit, right, for the month, it doesn't mean that if somebody has a question about probate that they can ask it.
right.
But the focus will be on credit for the months, because I know some people may be saying, well, I want to know about this, and when is that going to be the theme? Yes, we'll be focusing on a theme, but we can, answer your questions within reason if there's something else. So that's just it. Everything, we're all in a different place. And so we want to help support you wherever you are.
And I love the fact that we will have different courses and series. Like I'm all about goal setting. I have a great goal setting course out there. And, I'm a professional belly dance artist. So, I always say that you are the genie of your own bottle, right?
Oh, I like
And so that's what we talk about in my unique goal setting course. So you guys are going to love it. You will love it.
Cool. I'm excited. Well, now that we've invited everybody and we're hoping that you will join us, shall we give them a quote?
Yay. Yes.
Okay. So the quote for today, I love this one, Eleanor Roosevelt. And, when we first found this quote, we kind of all chatted a bit and said, if you have not learned anything about Eleanor Roosevelt, take a second to look at her life, because I was really surprised and impressed with her biographies. And when I heard one, I actually went and watched a few more documentaries and things on her. Very interesting woman. So her quote today, in the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die. And the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility.
Wow.
So no matter where you are, it's never too late to get your ducks in a row. It doesn't matter if a lot of people probably used more credit than they were used to, perhaps, since we have been through the year that we've been through and Christmas was just here. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. If you want to up level, it's a perfect time for you to be doing it. You mold your own life, as Eleanor says. So that said, I think we're going to get ready to wrap it up, you guys. But I do want to encourage everybody that if this was informative to you, definitely share this, like this, subscribe to the channel, let other people know that we're here. Go back and watch our New Year's Eve show, because it was amazing for goal setting. And it is never too late to even go back to our Christmas special, where we talked about bringing joy into your life, because gosh knows, especially now, we need to make sure that we can access joy whenever we need to. So that's a great show. Go back and watch some of the other shows, share those as well. It's because of you that we are here, and because of you that we're continuing to grow, and we are here to help you as well. So next show, we are going to be talking about fear and how to make it work for you. So we'll be talking with author Linda Sunshine West and a Hollywood stuntman by the name of Alan Robinson. So join us next week. We really look forward to having you there. For now, we're out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Get your ducks in a row.